Ba-la-la-la. In this Honey Lemon tutorial, I'm gonna go over how I made the dress. Oh, we're angry about that, are we? Ugh. The material I use is neoprene, which is a material that they use to make wetsuits as well. This is extremely thin neoprene. It's not near the thickness of wetsuits, but because of that, it holds its shape pretty nicely, so it doesn't like fold or get crinkly. And you can see the bottom of my skirt like kind of holds its bell shape. Can you see that? I don't think my camera goes down that far, but that's okay. Holds its shape well enough so it kind of poofs out like hers does, but it's also really stretchy, so it's really comfortable and easy to wear. Really not that breathable of a fabric, even though it's very comfy, so even when I wear like the bodysuit underneath with my dress and my armor, my torso gets very hot, but I'm not wearing a lot of it. It's a very little dress, so it didn't really matter to me, and this material just worked so perfect for this dress. I bought the pink piping pre-made in little bags, so other than that, all you're gonna need is the material and the piping to make this dress. I also used a little bit of stiffener. Can you see it in the bottom of my dress? In the tutorial, it shows a really thick piece, but it ended up cutting it down. So just a little bit of stiffener to help the bottom keep its shape, and that's all you're gonna need for the dress. So the little dress she wears is actually really unique in both the shape and the cuts for where the piping goes. So I had to make a pattern from scratch. So this is the mock pattern for one side of my dress. There will be 8 panels in total. I completely sewed my mock dress together, put it on, and then just started cutting it up and adjusting it. Then I cut a half circle into one side of the dress to create that unique little pattern she has on her hip. And I really lucked out for the fabric of this dress. I wanted something thick but still stretchy so I could take it on and off easily, but not so heavy so it wouldn't be hot during a convention. So I actually found this hot pink in neoprene, which is the same material they make wetsuits out of, which worked extremely well. It was stretchy, it was kind of breathable, but it was stiff enough to hold its shape. I also bought this pre-made light pink piping at my fabric store, and it took about 3 packages for me to complete the entire dress. But as I'm sewing the panels of the dress together, I'm inserting the piping in between as I'm sewing, so that when I open the dress up, it's going to have the piping down the seams, just like Honey Lemon's dress. So I ended up sewing everything together besides the hip pieces, and I fit it to myself, taking it in where necessary before adding those last pieces, because if you add those first, you're not going to be able to adjust the size. So make sure it fits the way you want, and then add those hip panels, again inserting that pink piping in between your seams. Lastly, I'm adding the piping to the bottom edge of the dress, and I'm also adding some stiffener to it so the bottom holds its bell-like shape. And it looks really like 3 or 4 inches wide with the stiffeners, which is what I started with, but I ended up cutting it down to at least like 1/4 of an inch, something really small, so you don't really see it, but it does make the dress flare out at the bottom. Thank you for watching this tutorial. I hope your dress turned out really well. This material, again, was so perfect. Like, I was walking around the fabric store with the lady who runs it, and we're like, what can we use? I was showing her pictures. I was like, it needs to be stretchy, it needs to be this color, it needs to be comfortable, it needs to hold its shape and have stiffness. And she looked at me after 20 minutes of walking around the store looking for stuff. She looked at me and was like, I have a pink neoprene. Sold on pink neoprene. I don't even know what happened. The cosplay gods smiled down upon me and was like, have this fabric of the neoprene. So if you want to find out how I made all the other pieces of my Honey Lemon cosplay, make sure that you check out the playlist. I will have all the videos together in one playlist, and that will be in the description below. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. Make sure you like, favorite, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye! Thank you so much for watching. You are ruining my video! I'm not gonna invite you anymore.